Okay, so I found this comment on another YouTube channel. This user, Easy, he says the fact that nobody talks about the book, No Fab Rebirth Project, speaks volumes about how people are stuck in life. He's actually talking about a book that has been created about stopping porn addiction and masturbation, how it's going to help you eradicate this problem. Then this second user, Malignate, says, one day I woke up, said, never going to watch porn again. I didn't watch porn for 3 months. I relapsed, forgave myself and decided not to do it again. After 6 months of no porn, I relapsed again, forgave myself. Now it's been 2 years since I watched porn. Never felt better. Feels like I am king. Everything is on track. Porn destroys lives, brothers. Please stop it. So this guy is basically talking about how uneasy it is for him to stop the porn and masturbation addiction, even though if he has tried so many times, he goes between relapse and he does it again. So these are one of the most dangerous aspects of porn and masturbation. Even if you consented to stop, you've thought about the effects and harm it does to your body, to you, your relationships and everything in your life. It's very hard to stop, even if there are these cravings like a vampire craves for blood, even if you want to stop. This guy, Diamond King, he says, been exposed to porn at age 7, have been watching on a regular basis since 12. I am now 29 and I'm 118 days free. The urge to watch porn no longer possesses me. What made me stop is understanding that watching porn hinders my ability to live a meaningful and successful life. For these past 118 days, I no longer eat bad processed food. I am no longer overweight. I am no longer unmotivated to reach my goals. Porn hinders living a quality life. And if someone like me who was addicted to it since age 12 can break free from it, so can you. Please do not be hard on yourself. Quitting an addiction is always difficult. Withdrawals come to play and sometimes relapses occur. And if it does start over. Trust me, your whole life can change in a matter of months. To whoever read this, I believe in you. So this second guy is also talking about how he has been exposed to porn at a very young age, at 7. Holy shit. And he has been doing that ever since. He's just 118 days free. This guy, Richard Dillian, he says, the longest I've been without porn in the last 17 years is probably 10 days. Most days is 2 or 3 times per day. It is a miserable addiction that has no doubt destroyed my life in a lot of ways. I've tried quitting many times, but I feel like it has a vice grip on me, so strong I'd have to die to get it off. I genuinely don't know how to stop. I know that sounds like a cop-out, but I have no idea. It's available everywhere. If I even have the slightest urge, my imagination starts spiraling until it's the only thing I can think about. It's terrible. It's no doubt hurt my feelings and hurt my relationships with women. I don't want to be this way. I remember not being addicted when I was younger and having way less hatred towards women and having much better relationships with them. Please keep spreading this message. It's an important one. I hope we can get it banned in the US someday. I also think it's greatly contributed to hookup culture and our cultural obsession with sex. It's a cancer on our society. I mean, look at what this guy is saying. For how many years he has been addicted to this bullshit. He has tried so many times to quit, but every time he feels this urge, the need to watch porn and masturbate, I mean, nothing can stop him. Essentially, it's like a vampire craving for blood, or a drug addict like a heroin addict craving for heroin, or if you are like me, someone who craves for marijuana, or shit, bro. I mean, porn has done so much damage to our society. This guy Smith says, 2 things that turned my life 180 degrees. 1, I stopped watching pornography. 2, I read the book, The Hidden Truths of Wealth. Now look at this guy. It's essentially a testimonial. He's talking about how his life has been better, how his life has changed for the better, for the greater good, just because he stopped watching porn and he read a book. I mean, this guy, a pathetic existence. He says he's in his 25th day of no fap. That means he has stopped masturbation. His last streak was 183 days. He's feeling great. 183 days. Come on, bro. 4 months and more. But he relapsed and he went back because of the urge, because of the need, because of the craving. Like I said earlier, it's like a vampire in need for blood. There's nothing you can do. You see, one of the greatest harm it does to our society is the addiction, bro. When you've been doing it for so long, nothing feels greater than it, Last time I had a girl come over and I was gonna hump her. You know what? I couldn't, cause my cock couldn't get up, bro, because of porn addiction. These things are harmful to the society. They are harmful long term, and we need to spread the word to stop this bullshit. More comments from this guy. I am lucid. He says, the main difference between cigarettes and porn is that you can delete history. That means you can hide from your phone whatever you did, not letting someone else access to what you did. But God has watched you. God knows your history, bro. And you know your history. And these things, what they do to your mind, they know about your history. For example, the way you take a look at women, the way you take a look about sexuality, the way you think about intimacy, bro. All these things are being exaggerated in the porn industry, and they are fake. They are acts. They are movies. Fake. And this nigga, Ho and Glenn Dow, he says, I pray to our Father Most High to help all the men, young and old, to have the strength to fight off this addiction. Amen, bro. And this guy, Daniel Audacious, he says, I haven't seen it in over 78 years, and I'm thankful. I have to thank God for that. Yeah, God is great. These guys know how hard it is to stop this addiction. Once you've been knee deep, or you've been deep into porn addiction and masturbation, once you've been doing it for a very long time, it's going to be very difficult to stop. So we need praises to God. We need to pray to God, to higher source, to higher power, whoever you believe in. You have to pray to Him to help you go about this addiction, because you can't do it alone. You have to ask the higher source, the higher power. You have to ask the Creator for power, for patience, for energy, for the ability to eradicate this addiction, because you can't do it alone. You need those prayers, bro. These are the damages porn does to the society. They turn you to an addict. They turn you into a vampire who can't really live without sucking blood. In this case, watching porn and masturbation. So we need to raise awareness. We need to expose this evil. We need to expose this devilish acts of ungodly human existence. It needs to be stopped. It needs to be banned. And we need to help other brothers who are into this kind of problems. We need to raise awareness. We need education and action to help people get out of this addiction. So there are more comments. From Andrews and Betty, he says, the biggest porn is the one no one talks about, social media. Then another comment from Soha, the fact that no generation has seen this kind of spiritual and mental weapon against it is crazy. Lord protect us. Then the last but not the least, DP Fish, he said, of all the addictions, this is the most violent, and the most harmful and the most hardest to eradicate, because once you are hooked in watching porn and masturbation from an earlier age and you've been doing it for decades, bro, it's gonna be hard to eradicate. You need to find a turning point where you have it in your mind, your body, your soul, where you say, when you say, no, this is the end, I'm gonna stop this bullshit. That's the only way you can stop this bullshit, bro. You need a higher source, you need prayer, you need community, you need support, you need groups, you need people who you can talk about this and come up with solutions, because it's not easy to eradicate. It's not something easy to just stop. It's more harder to stop than smoking weed or smoking cigarettes or drinking alcohol or even taking heroin. I think this is the greatest addiction, the most violent, the most evil, and our society has been taken over by porn and addiction. So we are going to expose this continuously. This guy, Big Moby D, He said, I read this once. You don't know you're addicted until you try to quit. And Ozere Ferozi said, it's a code actually from the 12th century. If you want to destroy any nation without war, make adultery and nudity common among the younger generation. It's a quote being said by Salahuddin Ayyubi, also known as Salahuddin or Saladin in English. And this guy, Geodude, he says, porn is demonic. I'm so glad I overcame my addiction years ago. I'm never turning back. So yeah, porn is demonic. It's evil. There's a business been built around it. That's why it's been meeting a lot of resistance from the people who are addicted to it and the people who are making off money from it. They don't want it to go, you know. They are going to continue to try to praise it, to celebrate it, to make the porn stars and porn performers feel like they are some kind of celebrities. I mean, just look at the quote from Salahuddin himself. What he says is the truth, essentially, because our society has been destroyed by porn. Just listen to this.
So my ex-husband, he was a porn star as well,
Oh, so
and
he
he
got
even
it.
shot more than me. So
You guys ever go watch each other? No.
I did at some point. I remember we were doing like a group thing, but he did a sex scene with the girl beforehand that day, and I just like watched the whole thing and masturbated.
Oh,
it's
so you...
kind of hot.
Wait, live? That is hot.
Yeah, it's kind of hot.
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah.
Like
No way.
when I would masturbate, I'd only look at videos of him fucking like other girls.
Being like,
but then
pretending
I'm
to-
jealous at the same
Yeah,
time.
this
I'm
is-
like, it's so wrong, but it's so right.
But it's...
Okay, so it's kind of crazy to hear something like that coming out from the mouth of a porn star. I mean, it's not right to have a husband to fuck another woman and masturbate while watching it. That's just bullshit, bro. That's just bullshit. It's not right, you know? But being exposed to porn for decades does this to your mind. It turns your mind to a freak, you know? To someone who is very tolerant of watching someone fucking your husband and masturbating to it, you know, watching other people having sex and masturbating to it. I mean, that's just wrong, bro. It's just crazy. It's not supposed to happen. We have to speak out about these things. Now look at these statistics. Over 60% of porn websites are hosted in the US. Holy shit. Now Candace Owens says, ban pornography. It is a psychological weapon intended to weaken our men. And Cardi B says, OMG, why y'all so against porn? Is it that bad for y'all? I enjoy it, but I don't know, I guess it's like a 6-time a year thing. I personally don't feel no connection or addiction to it. It's just a little quick one too, nothing like real intimacy. Then Cardi B says, how? It actually should teach men how to please a woman. Now look at what I'm talking about. This is not supposed to be happening, bro. I mean, nobody is supposed to think porn is okay, or nobody is supposed to think porn is normal. This has been fucking up with our brain, our way of thinking, the way we think about life itself. Look at, what Cardi B is saying, for God's sake, bro. This is sick. We need to speak out against porn and addiction. Don't listen to Cardi B. She doesn't know what she's talking about, bro. She doesn't. I mean, just look at this. 93% of boys and 63% of girls will be exposed to internet porn before the age of 18. The average age of first exposure is 11 years old. Some survey says 8 years old. I have a testimonial of someone who said since 7 years old he has been exposed to porn and he has been masturbating for more than 20 years. 34% of OnlyFans creators surveyed reported negative mental or physical health effects like anxiety, depression, shame, and low self-esteem. These are the creators, the people who are acting the porn. They have anxiety, depression, shame, and low self-esteem. Talk about the guys who are watching them and masturbating to it. The porn industry generates more revenues than ABC, NBC, and CBS combined. $15 to $97 billion a year. What the fuck? $15 to $97 billion a year. That's how much the porn industry generates revenue every year. Every second, $3,000 is being spent on pornography. That's so much money. So a business is being built around it, and there's the addiction part, and there's the pleasure part, there's the exposure at a very young age part, there's the way you think and believe part. We need to rise up against this. We need to talk about it every day and every night and every week and every month. Essentially every day we need to talk about it. We need to raise awareness. We need to tell people what's really going on. We need to stop. We need to ban porn and masturbation. Just to know there's no glory in this business. Listen to what a porn star, an adult woman who is working in the porn industry, has to say.
I had done pornography from 18 to 25 years old. Yeah, at first I was enjoying it because the money was rolling in. I understand why women sit and go, maybe I should make an OnlyFans. I mean, I was making probably, it could be anywhere from 30 to 50,000. I was more so treating it somewhat as a business, but that didn't last long. That empowered feeling, it fades. When you continue to objectify yourself, sooner or later you will feel it. It takes a toll on your soul. In my time of being in the industry, I only knew 2 women that didn't use drugs. I mean, I've seen women like pounding back bottles of alcohol, and it's so crazy because the porn activists, oh, these women are empowered. They love what they're doing. In my head, I'm thinking, yeah, she's not as happy and empowered as you think she is. Like, I've seen her have to get wasted just to do the scene that you think she's enjoying.
Dangerous effects of watching porn. This is your brain before watching porn or taking drugs. Now this is your brain on heroin and porn. Heroin and porn have similar effect to your brain. It damages and reduces your brain mass. Is the 10-second pleasure worth damaging your brain forever?